In the vast world, 100 schools of thought contend and 10,000 paths contend. The strong will do as they please, while the weak will be the prey. I am a 7-foot-tall man, how can I indulge in mermaid meat? When using the sword in your hand to break through the sky, conquer heaven and earth, slay gods and demons, and look down upon heaven and earth. Realm division. Physical realm, Kaiyuan realm, Zhengang realm, Wanxiang realm, Tianren realm, soul refining realm, star transformation realm. P.S. The old book Zhang Yu Jiutian with 3 million words is completed, and the character of the spring and autumn period is guaranteed. Everyone can rest assured to read it, and the new book will be even more passionate and exciting. Keywords of the novel. Kendo battle without pop-ups. Download the complete set of Kendo Battle TXT, and read the latest chapters of Kendo Battle. Chapter 1. Slaves. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Slaves. Just as dawn broke, the night gradually dissipated by the morning light, and the earth became hazy, as if covered in a light gray veil. Deheshing, Tang family. Tang Mang woke up from his sleep, yawned, and then jumped off the wooden couch. He quickly put on patched coarse linen clothes, and after a simple wash, he left his solitary cabin. Outside is a rudimentary courtyard surrounded by a fence. Due to heavy rain last night, the ground was a bit muddy and the air was filled with a faint chill. Tang Mang was wearing 2 thin clothes. As soon as he came out, he suddenly shuddered. He quickly put on his posture, jumped up and down, practiced his martial arts, and didn't even have breakfast. He picked up the broom under the eaves and hurriedly left the small courtyard, heading straight to the Tang family's martial arts square. The Tang family is the oldest aristocratic family in the history of Tianwu Kingdom. Its ancestor, Chao Mang, came from a humble background. In his early years, he accompanied the former emperor of Tianwu Kingdom in battles to the south and north, founded a great family and country, conquered thousands of miles of mountains and rivers, and was appointed as the king and duke of Tang. The throne is hereditary and passed down from generation to generation. As a nobleman who started with martial arts, the martial arts style of the Tang family was prevalent. Every morning, the children of the family, regardless of their direct or collateral lineage, and regardless of gender, went to the Yanwu Square for morning exercises. Fortunately, I came early, otherwise I would have to endure training again. Running all the way to the Yanwu Square, Tang Mang let out a long breath as he saw that the square was empty and the children of the Tang family had not yet arrived. As a servant of the Tang family, Tang Mang is not like any other servant. He either carries tea and water all day long, shoulders and backs, or serves young masters and ladies, kowtowing and flattering. His job is relatively simple, which is to clean the martial arts square. However, he needs to clean the large square before the Tang family's children gather, otherwise he will inevitably receive training. In fact, receiving training is good. Half a month ago, he was punched and kicked by several Tang family young masters because he overslept late. If it weren't for his good physical recovery, he would have to lie in bed for 10.5 days. Glancing at the fish belly white that appeared on the edge of the sky, Tang Mang didn't delay either. He rolled up his sleeves and started today's work, quickly waving his broom to clean up the dust and scattered fallen leaves on the square. During the cleaning, Tang Mang straightened his waist, even though he was a servant of the Tang family with no status and was doing the lowest level of work. His expression was meticulous, and his movements were steady and powerful. Soon, a red sun slowly rose from the east, and the thick fog was torn off like cotton wool, gradually turning into a faint fine veil. Tang Mang also cleaned the martial arts square spotlessly. At the same time, hundreds of Tang family children gathered one after another on the square. These children of the Tang family wore a uniform black martial arts uniform, ranging from 12 or 13 years old to less than 20 years old. Regardless of gender, they slightly moved their bodies and bones before starting practicing martial arts. Bang bang bang, the man's waist and hips are in harmony, his body is moving rapidly, and his fist style is as fierce as a tiger reliant pouncing on a sheep, agile and fierce. The woman's footsteps wander, with a gentle yet strong fist style, like a crane flying in the sky, light and agile. Both men and women fight with a clear and organized approach. Tang Mang stood not far away with a broom and hesitated to leave. His black and translucent eyes rolled as he secretly watched the various movements of the Tang family's children, deeply remembering those movements. Tang Mang is obviously secretly learning martial arts, which is also a compulsory course for him every morning. As a servant of the Tang family, Tang Mang was unable to cultivate Tang family martial arts. His only opportunity was to clean up every day, secretly glance at the morning exercises of Tang family children, and then return to his residence to practice. Tang Mang had bright eyes and carefully observed the movements of each Tang family member, all of which were recorded in his mind. Hee, you little scumbag are so cowardly. After cleaning up, don't leave quickly. How dare you steal martial arts here? Is it because your skin is itching again? Do you want me to loosen your muscles and bones for you? Some piercing cold laughter came, and several young men with messy clothes, floating footsteps, and pale faces walked lazily and lazily over. Tang Mang tilted his head slightly and looked at the several young men walking towards him. A hint of resentment flashed in his eyes, indicating that they were none other than the culprits who punched and kicked him half a month ago. Unlike the children of the Tang family who were practicing martial arts on the square, they were all standard playboys who were ignorant and obsessed with women all day long. Even if one comes to morning exercises every day at different times, it is difficult to fully exert their corresponding strength due to insufficient yang energy, weakened body, unstable foundation, and lack of cultivation. If it weren't for the difference in identity, Tang Mang would have been able to knock down a few people despite suffering serious injuries. Good morning, young masters. I'll leave now. Although Tang Mang wished he could beat up the few people hard in his heart, he knew his identity was low, so he forced himself to hold back and bowed slightly to greet them. He was about to leave. As Tang Mang was about to leave, a tall and slender young man with a hooked nose, aged 15 or 16, stood in front of several young men. His face turned slightly cold and he asked, "Did I let you go? Stop me." Speaking, he waved his hand. Several young men behind understood and stepped out, blocking Tang Mang's path in a fan-shaped manner. They chuckled and looked at Tang Mang with ill intentions. The road was blocked, and Tang Mang furrowed his brows slightly. He looked up at the young man with a hooked nose who was a few steps away, and his tone was neither servile nor overbearing. "Tang Fong young master, Tang instructor is coming soon." Upon hearing these words, Tang Fong immediately became furious and said, "You little lowly slave, don't threaten me with Tang Gang. Although that guy is a master in the 7th level of the physical realm, he is still a bit inferior to my father. Even if I don't come to morning exercise, what can he do for me?" "Oh, really?" A soft hum came from afar, and the several young men next to Tang Fong suddenly turned pale. The Tang family's children on the martial arts square stopped practicing their martial arts together, and everyone stood straight without looking at them. Tang Fong seemed to have not noticed anything unusual, straightened his chest, and said arrogantly, "Of course, my father is a master of the 8 levels of the physical realm. What can Tang Gang do with me?" Tang Mang didn't speak, just half squinted his eyes and looked at Tang Fong with an idiotic gaze. Several young men next to Tang Fong were anxiously spinning around, and someone couldn't help but reach out and push Tang Fong. "What are you doing?" Tang Fong frowned and shouted, then followed the direction pointed by one person and saw a middle-aged man strode towards him in the distance. He couldn't help but tremble and his face showed a look of fear. A middle-aged man is undoubtedly Tang Gang, a coach who specializes in teaching Tang family children morning exercises. He is a master with 7 levels of physical realm and the ability to fight against lions and tigers. He is famous throughout the country. He is about 30 years old, 8 feet tall, with a tiger's back and a bear's waist, a beard and a leopard's eye. He is extremely fierce, and his walking is like a human-shaped fierce beast pressing against him. Although there was some distance between them, Tang Mang almost wanted to stop his breathing. Seemingly far away, Tang Gang swiftly approached Tang Fong and stared at him from a high position, asking, "Do you think I can't do anything about you?" "No, no, Coach Tang, you must have heard it wrong." Tang Fong's voice trembled and he took a few steps back. Don't be fooled by his complete disregard for Tang Gang just now. Seeing Tang Gang right in front of him still inevitably brings fear and shortness of breath. Although Tang Gang only has a cultivation level of the 7th level in the physical realm, he has a natural talent and brute force. When fighting, he is even more determined. Even against the 8th level experts in the physical realm, he still has the power to fight. Humph, my ears are really good, how could I hear wrong? Tang Gang let out a cold snort and said with a cold face, "Tang Fong, after today's morning exercise, you can run 1,000 laps around the martial arts square for me." "What? 1,000 laps?" Tang Fong shouted. Tang Gang said coldly, "Not bad, 1,000 laps. You won't have lunch until you finish running. If you're not satisfied, you can go call your dad now. I want to see what your dad has to say." Tang Fong opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but was immediately stared at by Tang Gonghu. He was so scared that he stepped back and swallowed his words. Tang Gang didn't pay attention to Tang Fong either. With a flick of his sleeve, he strode to the front of the Tang family's children not far away and stood still. "Damn it!" Tang Fong cursed loudly in his heart, his face flushed with suppressed anger, but he didn't dare to say anything more. He just turned his gaze and suddenly vented his anger on Tang Mang. He shouted, "Little lowly slave, only the children of the Tang family can cultivate Tang family martial arts. It's not something you can learn secretly, so why don't you leave?" To readers. Half a year has passed, and spring and autumn has opened a new book. My heart is somewhat bumpy. I hope new and old friends can support me more, so that I can click, recommend, bookmark, and reward more fiercely. New books, spring and autumn will make up for the shortcomings in old books, write more exciting and passionate. Chapter 2. Good Opportunities. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Good Opportunities. As a servant of the Tang family, Tang Mang had no status. His ancestors, grandfather, and even his father were all servants of the Tang family, so he was destined to be a servant of the Tang family from birth. If nothing unexpected happens, he will marry and have children in the future, and his descendants will become servants of the Tang family, serving the Tang family. A lowly servant who steals the master's martial arts is a great taboo. Once discovered, he can easily break his legs or kill the feeding dog. Tang Fong's face twisted and he angrily cursed, "Little lowly slave, I asked you to leave, didn't you hear me?" If Tang Gang hadn't been nearby, he would probably have taken action. "Tang Fong, the days ahead are long. The enemy who insulted me today will be punished 10 times in the future." Tang Mang was filled with anger in his heart, but his face remained expressionless. He quickly walked away with a broom, but he didn't go far. Tang Gang shouted, "Tang Mang, wait a moment." Tang Mang stopped in his tracks and turned to look at Tang Gang. He respectfully asked, "Teacher Tang, what can I do for you?" "Don't leave, stay and learn martial arts with everyone." The kid has a lowly identity, how could this be? Tang Mang's body trembled wildly, looking up at Tang Gang with an incredulous expression on his face. Although Tang Gang is a morning exercise instructor and has some status in the Tang family, he cannot arbitrarily violate the rules of the main family. Tang Fong regained his senses and shouted in a duckling-like voice, "Teacher Tang, what are you saying? You actually want him to stay and learn martial arts? Do you still have any family rules in your eyes?" Tang Gang coldly glanced at Tang Fong, then his gaze turned and fell on Tang Mang, explaining, "The master changed the family rules yesterday. From now on, The Tang family servant Chen Shi can also come to the Yanwu Square to practice martial arts. Teacher Tang, is this matter serious? Tang Mang was both surprised and delighted. After all, stealing learning is stealing. Unable to learn the essence of Tang family martial arts, being able to stay and learn martial arts and boxing, and even receiving Tang Gang's guidance, Tang Mang naturally became ecstatic. Did the homeowner change the house rules yesterday? Tang Fong said in confusion. The other children of the Tang family are also a bit confused at this moment. You should know that their Tang family has been developing for hundreds of years, and the family rules set by their ancestors have never changed much. Why is the family mainly changing? Tang Gonghu's eyes lit up and he looked around at the crowd of people present, saying, the master of the house has changed the rules for the better development of the family. The new rules will be announced to the public later, and you can go and see for yourself. After finishing speaking, he said to Tang Mang, the opportunity is rare now. You must seize it well. Remember, as long as you succeed in cultivation, the head of the family will even exempt you from being a servant. Really? Tang Mang was shocked and said. Tang Gang nodded confidently and said, of course, as long as you can reach the 6th level of the physical realm before the age of 18, you can be exempt from being a servant. Tang Gang was well aware of Tang Mang's past practice of secretly learning martial arts, but he kept his eyes closed and didn't say much. The reason behind this is that Tang Mang's father, who had passed away for many years, had shown kindness to Tang Gang in his early years. Over the years, Tang Gang occasionally took care of Tang Mang privately. Don't worry, Coach Tang. I will work hard to cultivate and strive to reach the 6th level of the physical realm before the age of 18. Tang Mang's voice was loud and confident. He is born with a good memory and a seemingly emaciated physique, but he often practices boxing privately. He has a strong explosive power, not to mention his strong willpower, and can endure hardships that ordinary people find difficult to bear. The cultivation of the physical realm requires not only the medicinal herbs to assist in cultivation, but it is difficult to achieve anything if one cannot endure hardship. Tang Fong was extremely displeased with Tang Mang. After listening to his words, he raised his eyebrows and sneered, Coach Tang must be joking. Learning martial arts is not easy, it requires a lot of precious medicinal herbs. Even if this little lowly slave cultivates for a lifetime, he cannot reach the 6th level of the physical realm. Tang Mang was a bit angry and loudly said, even without medicinal herbs, I can still achieve it. What if there are no medicinal herbs? I am able to endure hardship, and while others practice boxing for 1 hour a day, I only practice for 2 hours, or even 3 hours. There is always hope that I can reach the 6th level of the physical realm before the age of 18. Tang Fong's face was full of contempt, and he sneered, I'm not ashamed of talking big. If you can do it, I'll write my name upside down. After speaking, if there was anything else to say, Tang Gang stared at him and immediately dared not say more. Tang Gang ignored Tang Fong and glared at him in disgust. Then he spoke loudly, perhaps you don't know yet. From now on, the family will no longer provide you with medicinal herbs. If you want medicinal herbs, you must exchange them with contribution points. What? This is impossible. Tang Fong shouted. He has average qualifications, and without continuous supply of medicinal herbs, it would be difficult for him to make progress in cultivation. A Tang family member asked curiously, Teacher Tang, what are your contributions? Contribution points refer to the family publishing tasks. Once you complete the tasks, you will receive corresponding contribution points. With these contribution points, you can exchange medicinal herbs and silver from the family. Is this also a new family rule? Not bad. Tang Gang nodded slightly and spoke like a bell, remember my words, if any of you can reach the 7th level of the physical realm before the age of 18, you can be sent to Qingyun Gate for cultivation. From now on, step by step, your family will be proud of you. Ah! Send it to Qingyun Gate. Tisk, it's really unbelievable. If I could go to Qingyun Gate to cultivate, I would wake up laughing in my dreams. No, Qingyun sect is one of the 3 major sects in Qianzhou. There are abundant cultivation resources in the sect. If we can go there, we will definitely become experts in the Kaiyuan realm someday. Many children of the Tang family cheered and cheered. Tang Mang's heart was also pounding with disbelief. He never dreamed that he could not only cultivate the martial arts of the Tang family openly, but also reach the 7th level of the physical realm before the age of 18. He could even go to Qingyun Gate to cultivate. Qingyun Gate is a super large gate in Qianzhou. Tang Wanxiang, the talented young lady of the Tang family, is currently practicing within the Qingyun sect. It is said that she reached the top 10 levels of the physical realm several years ago. Now, after a few years, she may have already broken through to the Kaiyuan realm and become a disciple of the Qingyun sect. Martial cultivation starts with the physical body, and after the physical body, it becomes the Kaiyuan realm. At this realm, one can cultivate their own vitality, which can be released from the body and kill enemies from the air. Advanced practitioners can even bombard mountains and rocks with terrifying power. When the Emperor of Tianwu saw such a master, he had to personally welcome him and treat him as a guest of honor. He dared not neglect him at all, fearing to bring disaster to the entire country. At the age of 18, before the age of 18, I must reach the 7th level of the physical realm. When the sky is high, birds can fly, and the sea is wide, fish can leap. I no longer have to be a servant who is bullied and has no dignity. Tang Mang's eyes were burning, and he secretly set a goal for himself. He would not give up until he achieved his goal. Upon hearing the chattering of many Tang family members, Tang Gang shouted, "All right, be quiet. Today, I will teach you the complete lion and tiger fist and cloud crane fist of the Tang family. You can all stare at me and see clearly. I won't teach them twice." Speaking, he spread his posture and his body was like a tense string, ready to shoot arrows and kill the enemy at any time. Lion and Tiger Fist is a profound martial arts technique taught by our Tang family ancestors from Qingyun sect. You not only need to remember the moves, but also understand the artistic conception within them. Only in this way can you cultivate your physical body to the limit, have the opportunity to step into the Kaiyuan realm, and become a master. With a loud shout, Tang Gang began to move. He used a set of martial arts techniques, like a lion or a tiger, with a powerful and domineering style, like boiling oil on a blazing fire. The strong force dissipated, and within a few meters, the strong wind hunted and many Tang family members retreated far away in order to stand still. Lion and Tiger Fist is practiced by men from the Tang family, while Cloud and Crane Fist is practiced by women. A set of lion and tiger punches, with a total of 9,981 moves. The moves are open and close, which can greatly exercise muscles, bones, skin, and flesh, as well as the 5 organs and 6 viscera, and refine blood vessels. The Cloud Crane Fist, on the other hand, only has 8,864 moves. Although it may not have as many moves as the Lion Tiger Fist, it can greatly exercise the body and is more suitable for women's cultivation. Of course, men can also practice, but the effect is not as good as Lion and Tiger Fist. A set of Lion and Tiger Fists and a set of Cloud and Crane Fists, Tang Gang finished and spent a total of less than half an hour. Whether it's Lion Tiger Fist or Cloud Crane Fist, Tang Gang is known for his lively and colorful performances, imbued with the connotations of Lion Tiger and Cloud Crane, which have caught the attention of many Tang family members. Chapter 3. Memorable at a Glance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Memorable at a glance. From now on, you both practice separately. Tang Gang is physically strong and has extremely strong endurance. After completing 2 sets of boxing techniques, his face is not red and his breath is not panting. He is full of breath. Many children of the Tang family dared not neglect and began practicing martial arts one after another. For a while, the fist wind howled and the humming continued, echoing through the vast martial arts square. Tang Mang stood behind the crowd in a daze, as if he had not yet recovered from the artistic conception of lion and tiger fist. After a moment, he woke up like a dream, rolled up his sleeves, shook his body, and started punching. Tang Mang has been intelligent and clever since childhood, with a natural memory. Over the years, he has personally read poems, songs, and essays, as well as humanities and miscellaneous notes, all of which he remembers, almost to the point of being unforgettable. Even though Tang Gang only punched the lion and tiger fist once just now, he remembered almost everything. However, in order to reach the limit of the physical realm, it is necessary to understand the profound artistic conception contained in the lion and tiger fist. Of course, he cannot easily comprehend it. Now, he is only recalling the moves of the lion and tiger fist and fighting it with a certain style. Not bad, it's a good seedling, but unfortunately it's not that easy to reach the limit of physical realm. Seeing Tang Mang running and swinging his fists, his movements were basically correct. Tang Gang nodded secretly, but sighed in his heart. Although his cultivation has reached the seventh peak of the physical realm, he has not fully understood the artistic conception of the lion and tiger fist. It is still unknown whether he can reach the limit of the physical realm in this life, or even challenge the Kaiyuan realm. Tang Mang didn't know what Tang Gang was thinking in his heart, but he kept practicing the lion and tiger fist. Based on his memory, he worked hard to complete the 9,981 moves of the lion and tiger fist. Other Tang family members are also racking their brains at this moment, recalling Tang Gang's previous moves, hoping to complete the lion tiger fist or cloud crane fist. Unfortunately, Tang Gang's previous movements were too fast. For a long time, except for Tang Mang, who was still sweating profusely, everyone else in the room stopped, and surprisingly, no one finished the 2 sets of boxing techniques. This little slave hasn't finished yet. Difficult, did he remember all the 81 movements of the lion and tiger fist? Impossible. Coach Tang fought so fast before, and the audience was dizzy. Who can remember? Who can remember? Hey, he has already reached the 64th style, and I, Tang Xiao, have some talent. After practicing martial arts for 3 years, I can barely reach the 64th style now. What? Did you read it right? This little slut really hit the 64th move. Seeing Tang Mang tirelessly moving and constantly waving his fists, many Tang family members couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Tang Fong even roared and jumped up. He couldn't believe that Tang Mang could strike the lion and tiger fist to the 64th move. What's the noise? Be quiet. Tang Gang shouted loudly, but his gaze was firmly fixed on Tang Mang. Seeing Tang Mang's serious expression, he punched as if there was no one else around, his fist blowing uncontrollably and his eyes wide open. How could it be? Has he ever learned the complete lion and tiger fist? Tang Gang thought of this and shook his head. It's impossible. The complete lion and tiger fist is a secret that cannot be passed down. He can't learn it. It's difficult. Is it because he was born to remember everything? I only played lion and tiger fist once, and he remembered everything. Thinking about it, the look in Tang Mang's eyes was completely different. It should be noted that practicing martial arts requires innate talent, and memory is undoubtedly a natural talent. With this talent, Tang Mang can definitely become a master in the physical realm even if he cannot reach the Kaiyuan realm in the future. After a while, Tang Mang finally stopped, but he didn't have time to pay attention to others. He frowned and pondered. Many children of the Tang family were puzzled and asked their companions in a low voice, "Hey, do you say he has completed the 81 style?" "I'm not sure, I don't think so." "Indeed not. Judging from his appearance, he probably can't remember the moves. I'll just say, he can't finish it." "Humph, that's for sure. In our Tang family, it's said that only Tang Fong and Tang Yun have learned the complete lion and tiger fist, and now they can even complete all the moves of Lion and Tiger Fist. I forgot if you didn't say it. By the way, where are Tang Feng, Tang Yun, and others? Why haven't you seen them lately? Hey, I don't even know. Half a month later, Emperor Tianwu will take his concubine and entertain all the nobles, aristocratic families, and wealthy merchants in the country. The Tang dynasty and his family represented the head of the family a few days ago and brought a special gift to Tianwu City. They may have to stay in Tianwu City for a while. Tianwu City. TSK, that's our Tianwu Kingdom Imperial City. It's said to be full of flowers and beautiful women like clouds. Whispering incessantly, when Tang Mang stopped, Tang Feng breathed a sigh of relief and laughed wildly. I'll just say, he's just a lowly slave. How could he possibly finish the Lion and Tiger Fist? Tang Gang shouted coldly, what do you know? Tang Mungung just hit the 80th move. And you? After practicing martial arts for 3 years, you barely reached the 36th move. You're such a fool. After speaking, no matter how ugly Tang Feng's face was, his gaze turned to Tang Mang and he chuckled, not bad, not bad. After watching it once, you can hit the 80th move. Tang Mang regained his senses and scratched his head with some embarrassment, while constantly recalling the 81st move of the Lion and Tiger Fist in his heart. As if he knew Tang Mang wouldn't give up, Tang Gang waved his hand and said, don't think recklessly, watch carefully. This is the 81st style of Lion and Tiger Fist. This style may seem simple, but it is full of changes and covers all things. After speaking, he moved his steps and his fists roared, demonstrating the final form of the Lion and Tiger Fist to Tang Mang. Tang Mang finished reading and his eyes lit up. He bowed and said, thank you very much for your guidance, Coach Tang. Tang Mang has an excellent memory. Although the final move of Lion and Tiger Fist is complex, he deeply remembers it. Tang Gang nodded slightly and didn't say much. He said to the many Tang family members, all right, the morning exercise is over. You can go outside the family temple now to see the new family rules. After speaking, he strode away. Many children of the Tang family were stunned and immediately rushed towards the family ancestral hall, apparently preparing to see what the new family regulations contained. Tang Mang is no exception, he wants to go and see the new family rules. Just a few steps away, Tang Yi had a gloomy face and led several young Tang family members to block Tang Mang's path. Before Tang Mang could speak, he gritted his teeth and cursed, damn it, little slut, you were so imposing just now. Previously, in front of everyone, he was scolded by Tang Gang as a fool, and Tang Feng was already furious. Now that Tang Gang has left, he naturally wants to trouble Tang Mang and vent his anger. Tang Mang stopped in his tracks and asked loudly, Tang Feng, what are you trying to do to block my way? Upon learning that there was hope to break free from his servant status in the future, and even the opportunity to practice at Qingyun Gate, Tang Mang had a goal to strive for, and he no longer showed much hypocritical respect towards Tang Feng on the surface. Upon hearing Tang Mang's questioning, Tang Feng became even more angry and cursed loudly, little lowly slave, don't think that having a good memory can turn things around. I'll tell you, my father is an elder of the Tang family, in charge of the family's punishment. As long as I speak up, even if you succeed in your future cultivation, you won't be able to remove your servant status and go to Qingyun Gate. That's all I can do. Just you, don't think about it. After speaking, without waiting for Tang Mang to answer, a cold light flashed in his eyes and he shouted to the several young Tang family members beside him, what are you doing? Give me a hard beating. Strike. Several young Tang family members were ordered to shout and embrace Tang Mang, throwing their fists at him. Tang Mang was already on guard and did not engage in a fight with Tang Feng and others. With one move of the Lion and Tiger Fist, the lion and tiger leaped through the forest and swiftly escaped from the gaps in their bodies. Lion and Tiger Fist is not only a form of martial arts, but also includes body techniques. Damn it. Tang Feng saw Tang Mang running away, as if he had eaten a fly and his face turned ugly. That kid has learned all about lion and tiger fist, and his body is smooth and tight. A young man from the Tang family didn't look good either. He gritted his teeth and asked, Feng Shao, should we chase after him now? No need, if the monk can run away and leave the temple, as long as that little lowly slave is still in the Tang family for a day, he will be able to make life worse than death. What Feng Shao said is, alright, let's not go see any new family rules. Let's go play at Wanxiang courtyard first. I heard there are many new and lively girls coming there. Well, Feng Shao, aren't you going to run 1,000 laps around the square? What nonsense are you talking about? Tang Gang and that scumbag have all left, why are I running away? The Tang family, as a noble family, has a prominent family. The mansion covers an area of hundreds of acres, with numerous courtyards, small bridges and flowing water, and a beautiful environment. Of course, as a servant of the Tang family and a lowly person, Tang Mang's residence was not considered good, and the location was quite remote. It was located at the easternmost part of the mansion and could only be reached through a gravel path. Due to the disturbance caused by several people from Tang Feng, Tang Mang did not rush to check the new family rules. Instead, he quickly returned to his residence, constantly pondering the final form of the lion and tiger fist in his mind. Chapter 4. Rigidity and Flexibility. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Rigidity and Flexibility. Tang Mang, although his single name is Mang, he is not a Mangfu. On the contrary, he has been clever and clever since childhood, knowing that the final form of lion and tiger fist is not simple. Apart from the difficult moves to learn, the most important thing is that the moves contain the artistic conception of lion and tiger fist. Only by comprehending this profound and mysterious artistic conception can he reach the limit of the physical realm in the future and have the hope of impacting the Kaiyuan realm. No, still no, why can't I understand the artistic conception of lion and tiger fist? Is it the wrong move? No, my move should be fine. In the small courtyard outside, facing the warm sunshine, a set of lion and tiger fists kept hitting. Tang Mang's breathing was rapid, his clothes were wet, but he never got the point. It was difficult to understand the artistic conception of lion and tiger fists, and he couldn't help but frown. If Tang Gang saw this situation, he would probably scold Tang Mang a few words. After all, Tang Mang only learned lion and tiger fist. How could he possibly comprehend the artistic conception of lion and tiger fist in a short period of time? You should know that Tang Wanxiang, the talented young lady of the Tang family, also spent half a year to comprehend the artistic conception of Yunhe fist. Besides, lion and tiger fist has more moves than Yunhe fist, making it even more difficult to comprehend the artistic conception. If Tang Mang had just learned lion and tiger fist, he would have been able to comprehend its artistic conception. It was not a genius, but a monster. Alas, no wonder Coach Tang often says that cultivation needs to be gradual and should not be done too much. It seems that I am still a bit anxious. Tang Mang's eyebrows quickly relaxed, and he understood that understanding the artistic conception of lion and tiger fist was not something that could happen overnight. Mangzi, it's a great occasion. Just as Tang Mang was about to go back to the house to wash, laughter came from outside the courtyard, and a chubby teenager in his teens and fours quickly ran into the courtyard. A happy event. What happy event? Tang Mang touched his nose and wondered if it was because the new family rules had already spread. Sure enough. As soon as the chubby boy arrived in front of Tang Mang, he gasped for breath and said, Mangzi, you don't know. It's really a big joy. From now on, we servants don't have to secretly learn martial arts. Oh, you're talking about the new family rules. Tang Mang smiled and waved to the chubby boy to sit down on the stone bench next to him. The chubby boy didn't sit down either, but widened his eyes and exclaimed, you already know. Hee hee, of course. Tang Mang grinned and said proudly, previously at the martial arts square, Coach Tang Gang stayed with me and even personally taught me the complete lion and tiger fist. The chubby young man was also a servant of the Tang family, named Tang Xiaoyo. He had a great relationship with Tang Mang and was not a brother, but better than a brother. In front of Tang Xiaoyo, Tang Mang was quite open-minded, saying whatever he wanted without any hesitation. What, are you saying that Coach Tang Gang taught you the complete lion and tiger fist? Tang Xiaoyo was both surprised and envious, with a look of disbelief on his face. He then urged, quickly, dance the complete lion and tiger fist once, let me have a good look. Tang Xiaoyo also learned lion and tiger fist privately, but his talent is just average. Now he only barely learns the 12th move, which was taught to him by Tang Mang after he secretly learned it in the past. Okay, I'll demonstrate it to you now. You need to see it clearly. Tang Mang didn't hesitate and stood up to strike the lion and tiger fist. One move at a time, with dragon and tiger steps, his fist style is vigorous, and he hits very slowly, so that Tang Xiaoyo can see more clearly. It's okay if the moves are not slow, but if Tang Mang slows down, he actually falls into some kind of mysterious enlightenment. The lion and tiger fist is known for its toughness, just like the fierce beasts in the mountains, which are exceptionally fierce. However, even the most ferocious beasts can sometimes calm down. Quiet is not angry but majestic. If you move, you will harm people and kill enemies. After finishing a set of lion and tiger fists, Tang Mang suddenly woke up and laughed excitedly. I understand, I finally understand. I used to think that lion and tiger fists had to be fierce in order to exert their power, but now it seems that it may not be possible. What does it mean? Tang Xiaoyo listened inexplicably. Tang Mang smiled silently and did not explain. Even if he explained, Tang Xiaoyo might not understand. Hey, come on, don't be too presumptuous. Tang Xiaoyo is a bit unhappy. Tang Mang couldn't help but laugh and cry. He touched the tip of his nose and explained, it's nothing, it's just that lion and tiger fist may seem powerful, but in reality, its moves also need to be fast and slow. Only by combining strength and softness can the true power of lion and tiger fist be unleashed. Tang Xiaoyo listened in confusion, seeming to understand but didn't ask again. Instead, he remembered something and excitedly said, by the way, Mangzi, did you go to the ancestral hall to see the new family rules? I didn't go, Tang Mang shook his head. Tang Xiaoyo waved his hand and said, it's okay if you don't go. Anyway, I have transcribed all the new family rules. Here, please take a look so as not to be punished for accidentally violating the family rules in the future. After speaking, he handed Tang Mang a full page of paper. Tang Mang took it and carefully examined it. Although Tang Xiaoyo's handwriting was crooked and some words were missing strokes, he took some time to understand all the family rules. Tang Family Rules. Article 1. From now on, the family will no longer provide medicinal herbs for the Tang family's children to cultivate. If medicinal herbs are needed, they must be exchanged with contribution points. Article 2. From now on, the family will continuously release tasks. Once the Tang family's children complete the tasks, they will receive corresponding contribution points. Article 3. There are a lot of them, a total of 18. Tang Mang still valued Article 18 the most. According to the new family rules, whether it was a Tang family member or a Tang family servant, anyone who reached the 7th level of the physical realm before the age of 18 could be sent to Qingyun Gate for cultivation. After seeing Tang Mang finish reading, Tang Xiaoyo smiled and said, Mangzi, I have heard that the Qingyun sect, Tianhe sect, and Wangyue sect are currently at war, and there have been many casualties among the disciples of the three great sections. It is precisely because of this that the three great sects are preparing to open mountain gates within their respective sect spheres of influence. I see, no wonder there is this 18th family rule. Tang Mang suddenly realized, but soon he was puzzled again. Xiaoyo, do you know why the three great gates went to war? Tang Xiaoyo scratched his head and said, I've heard that there are some mineral veins at the junction of the three major sex forces, and I'm not sure about the specific ones. However, the three major sects have completely torn apart their face over the mineral veins, and they have been arguing fiercely. Tang Mang grew up in the Tang mansion from a young age. As a servant, he had limited knowledge and naturally did not know what mineral veins were. However, he didn't think much about it. Now what he needs to do is practice and then practice, striving to reach the 7th level of the physical realm before the age of 18. Only in this way can he enter the Qinyan gate. Tang Xiaoyo suddenly said, by the way, tonight the top girl in Wanxiang Academy, Wanxiang girl, is going to perform a dance performance at the city center square. Shall we go and take a look? I heard that Wanxiang girl has a beautiful appearance, protruding in the front and protruding in the back. Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Tang Mang stared and said, if you want to go, I won't go. Ah, Mangzi, it's not that I'm talking about you. You only know how to practice martial arts all day, don't you like women? Tang Xiaoyo shook his head and said, his greatest wish in this life is to become a master of the physical realm, marry a beautiful wife, and have a few chubby kids. Tang Mang smiled bitterly and said, although I am still young, I am at least a man who naturally likes women when I die. However, in this world, martial arts are the top priority. Even if I have a wealth of wealth, it is better to have one skill in my body. If I don't have the strength, how can I get married and have children? How can I protect my wife and children from being bullied? Tang Xiaoyo, who had made a profound statement, was speechless and could only leave with a sigh. Chapter 5. Tasks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Tasks. After Tang Xiaoyo left, Tang Mang clenched his fists and thought to himself, in the future, Tang Mang not only wants to remove his servant status, but also wants to become a master of the Kaiyuan realm. In short, before reaching the Kaiyuan realm, he will never marry or have children. He has limited knowledge and doesn't know where the end of martial arts lies, otherwise he wouldn't have made such a vow. I didn't think much about Miss Wanxiang either. Tang Monggang just realized that there was a slight balance between strength and softness, and he didn't plan to rush to wash it off. He put on his posture and started practicing his fist. The next morning, in the morning. After washing, Tang Mang mixed cold water, ate 2 cold mantou and came to the Yanwu Square early. Soon, many Tang family servants also arrived one after another, everyone rubbing their hands and excited. Tianwu Kingdom, and even the entire Longyuan continent, prioritize martial arts. Now that the new family regulations have been promulgated, servants can also cultivate family martial arts. The Tang family servants are naturally delighted and flocking to them. Of course, servants are always slaves, and their status cannot be compared to that of the Tang family's children. Including Tang Mang, they all stood at the back of the Yanwu Square, leaving the vast open space in front of them to the esteemed children of the Tang family. Today, the children of the Tang family also came very early. Even Tang Fong, due to the 5th rule of the new family rules, dared not cause trouble for the 20 sticks who were late for morning exercises. Although he was drowsy, he still yawned and dragged his heavy steps to the martial arts square. Tang Gang arrived very early and waited for everyone to gather without any further ado. After a few simple opening remarks, he practiced the complete lion-tiger fist and cloud crane fist, and then let everyone practice on their own. If they didn't understand anything, they could ask questions after the morning exercise. After a long time, the morning exercise has ended. Tang Mang approached Tang Gang and respectfully asked a few questions about cultivation before accompanying Tang Xiaoyo to the Tang Family Ancestral Hall. The Tang Family Ancestral Hall is a forbidden area, which houses plaques of the ancestors of the Tang family. Unauthorized individuals are not allowed to enter at will. The two did not enter the temple, but stood outside a huge stone wall. Looking up, on the stone wall, there were many newly released missions from the family written in black and white. For example, helping the family transport goods, or hunting certain wild beasts in Cangshan to obtain their teeth, hair, organs, and so on, in exchange for corresponding contribution points. Various tasks, dazzling and countless. The contribution points of hunting wild beasts or escorting goods are quite good, but I don't even have a physical realm now, and the danger is too high. Let's just forget about it. Carefully examining these tasks, Tang Mang shook his head slightly. He is eager for high contribution tasks, but unfortunately he can't even be considered a warrior now. Even if you learn all about Lion and Tiger Fist, it won't come in handy. Forcefully carrying out these tasks, even a slight mistake can lead to death outside. Mangzi, we have just started practicing and our foundation is weak. Let's find some simple tasks instead. Tang Xiaonyo is not foolish either, he can naturally distinguish what tasks are dangerous, he whispered. Tang Mang nodded in disgust with Tang Xiaonyo for a moment, choosing a task to transport goods. The Tang family is located in Deheshing. The reason why Deheshing is named Deheshing is because there is a large river that runs through the entire Tianwu kingdom outside the south gate of Deheshing. There are many ships on the river, and commerce is prosperous. The Tang family has a large population, including servants and maids, totaling several thousand people, and requires a large amount of daily necessities. These supplies are not only supplied on land, but also purchased from other cities through waterways. Moreover, the Tang family occupies the Black Iron Mountain in Deh City, and the black iron extracted from the mountain is exported to the outside world, except for the Tang family's demand for refining weapons. The task of Tang Mang and Tang Xiaonyo is very simple, which is to go to the Tang family's ferry to transport supplies, and then move the supplies onto the carriage. When the two of them arrived at the Tang family ferry, several 7 or 8 zhang-long hardwood boats were already docked on the nearby river, filled with various daily necessities such as food, salt, vegetables, fruits, and so on. At this time, the ferry was already crowded with people, and many Tang family servants gathered here. Obviously, they are all preparing for the task of transporting materials. Speaking of which, moving supplies used to be a slave's job, but now moving supplies can be exchanged for contribution points, so even though everyone is sweating profusely, they are still working tirelessly. Tang Mang did not delay, so as not to gossip. Greeting Tang Dainyu, the two of them then boarded a large ship and each carried a bag of goods loaded with salt. Carrying goods all the way, we walked towards the gathering place of Tang family carriages not far away. Tang Mang turned to look at Tang Xiaonyo, carrying a large bag and unable to straighten his waist. He smiled and said, "What's wrong, is it very heavy?" Although Tang Xiaonyo is fat and has a lot of meat on his body, his strength is not as strong as Tang Mang's. Mangzi, no, Mengfu, what have you been eating these years? How come you have more strength than me? Such a big bag of salt, at least 100 pounds. Reluctantly looking up, Tang Xiaonyo smiled bitterly as he looked at Tang Mang, who was carrying a large bag of salt effortlessly and not even breathing. Tang Mang laughed and cursed, "What can I eat as a little servant? It's just a simple meal. I exercise diligently in private, and my body and bones are stronger than yours." Tang Xiaonyo didn't answer, just bent over and struggled to carry the goods. The gathering place for carriages is also at the ferry, not far away, just a few dozen steps away. Tang Mang quickly loaded a bag of salt onto a carriage specially designed for loading salt, turned around, and ran quickly to the big ship, picking up a bag of salt again. After Tang Mang loaded the second bag of salt onto the carriage, Tang Xiaonyo finally lifted the salt from his hand onto the carriage and whispered, "Mangzi, why are you working so hard? Anyway, with so many people doing the transportation task, we can slow down a bit." Tang Mang shook his head and said, "You really think I'm stupid? How come you don't know this truth? It's just that practicing martial arts is already difficult. If I move more, it's just a physical exercise. What kind of exercise are you doing? It's all about working hard." Half an hour later, Tang Mang was still moving supplies, and many Tang family servants were already exhausted, mostly sitting on the ground, resting and drinking water. Hee, this little guy is quite good. At the gathering place of the carriage, an old and frail man with white beard and hair chuckled softly. Beside the old man, a middle-aged man dressed in green said, "Master, this little slave is just a bit strong. Seeing him like this, he will have to suffer from injuries and bones afterwards." The old man glared at the middle-aged man and snorted, "What do you know? Those who practice martial arts must endure hardship, otherwise they will not achieve success. Yes, the lesson of big management is." The middle-aged man was respectful and dared not refute at all. The old man's name was Tang Nantian, but he was the head of the Tang family and had a noble status. In the eyes of outsiders, Tang Nantian appears to be on the brink of death, but the middle-aged man knows that Tang Nantian is a great master who has reached the top 10 levels of the physical realm with half a foot and entered the Kaiyuan realm. His cultivation is comparable to that of the current head of the Tang family, Tang Wuxiang. Watching Tang Mang constantly moving goods, despite sweating profusely, without resting, Tang Nantian became even more appreciative and suddenly said, "After the moving is over, you can give that little guy a box of turpentine ointment for me." "What, turpentine ointment? This is an excellent healing medicine. Do you really want to give it to that little slave?" The middle-aged man was greatly surprised. "Little slave? Humph, I see you have a dog's eye that looks down on people. This is not easy, and you will definitely achieve something in the future. Tang Nan's sky is cold and cold." The middle-aged man's mouth twitched slightly, afraid to say anything more, so he nodded and bowed, but did not take Tang Mang to heart. Chapter 6. Cangshan. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 6. Cangshan. The sun rises 3 poles, and the bright sun shines brightly. The transportation task is over. Tang Mang, Tang Xiaonyo, and many Tang family servants have received the completion receipt from the middle-aged man and are ready to return to the Tang family to hand over the task in exchange for contribution points. "Kid, wait a minute. What is the steward's order for?" Tang Mang was about to leave, but he didn't expect the middle-aged man to stop him alone. Tang Mang knew about a middle-aged man, who was a collateral member of the Tang family. His name was Tang Min, and he could speak well and flatter people. In his 30s, he became a steward specialized in managing daily necessities in the Tang family. Tang Min waved his hand to let the others leave, without looking directly at Tang Mang. With a businesslike demeanor, he said, "There's nothing wrong, it's just that the Southern Heavenly Steward noticed that you worked the hardest to move before, so he specifically instructed me to reward you with this box of pine resin and soft jade ointment." After speaking, he threw a jade box to Tang Mang. This is what the Southern Heavenly Steward gave me." Tang Mang took the jade box and slowly opened it, looking at the soft and unique fragrance of the ointment inside, with a face full of admiration. The Southern Heavenly Steward is Tang Nantian. Of course, Tang Mang knew that the other party was the Tang family's chief steward, holding a high position of power. However, he did not expect Tang Nantian to send him a box of turpentine ointment. Wait, shouldn't a box of turpentine ointment be so small? Why do you seem to have been deducted by life for the most part? While Tang Mang was pondering, he suddenly realized that there was significantly less ointment in the jade box. With a slight thought in his heart, he knew that it must have been taken by Tang Min in front of him without authorization. "Why haven't you left yet? Do you have any questions?" Tang Min's tone was cold, but he was worried that Tang Mang would report to Tang Nantian privately. At that time, Tang Nantian knew that he had secretly deducted a lot of pine resin and soft jade ointment, and it was definitely not as good as his fruit to eat. Tang Mang didn't say much, bowed slightly to Tang Min, then turned around and left. However, he was very angry in his heart and secretly remembered Tang Min as a villain. One day, when he achieved success in cultivation, he would seek revenge. Although Tang Mang is only 14 years old, he has endured hardships since childhood and has a stable personality. He understands the principle that it is never too late for a gentleman to seek revenge. Walking all the way, without mentioning Tang Min, Tang Mang secretly remembered Tang Nanshan's kindness. You should know that this turpentine ointment is expensive, costing at least 1,000 taels of silver per box. Only the legitimate descendants of the Tang family can occasionally enjoy it. Not long after, Tang Mang returned to the Tang family to hand over the task. Outside the Tang family ancestral hall, there is a dedicated Tang family steward sitting there. Any Tang family member or servant who has completed a task can receive corresponding contribution points by presenting a receipt for completing the task or the necessary items. The transportation task is very simple, pure physical labor, with only 2 points of contribution. There are only 2 points of contribution. Besides exchanging a little silver, it is impossible to exchange expensive medicinal herbs for cultivation. So after handing in the task, Tang Mang began searching for other tasks. Tang Mang was focused on selecting tasks, but someone refused to satisfy him. Not far away, when Tang Fong saw Tang Mang, his face immediately darkened and he came to Tang Mang with a few fox friends and dog friends. In front of the Tang family ancestral hall, Tang Fong dared not be too presumptuous. He secretly reached out and pushed Tang Mang, mocking him, "Little lowly slave, why do you also want to enjoy the cultivation resources of the Tang family? Don't dream, I will eventually be a servant." Article 7 of the new family rules stipulates that no Tang family member shall insult or beat slaves, and those who violate the rules shall be punished with 20 sticks. Tang Mang snorted coldly, selected a task to hunt down the black bears on the outskirts of Cangshan, and quickly left. "Damn it, how dare this damn little bastard threaten me?" Tang Fong saw Tang Mang leaving far away with a gloomy expression and cursed loudly. "Fong Xiao, that kid is just a scumbag. If he doesn't fight, he won't listen. Yeah, I really want to break his legs." Several fox friends and dog friends next to Tang Fong were also unhappy with Tang Mang. Tang Fong's eyes were cold and he looked left and right. Seeing that there were not many people around, he said with a mournful expression, "Break your legs. How could I be so cheap to him? I must take his dog's life today." So, Fong Xiao is preparing to kill him. One person's face changed drastically. Although insulting or even beating servants violates family rules, they are nothing more than being beaten. If it were murder, it would be a serious crime with serious consequences. Humph, he should have chosen the mission of hunting black bears just now. As long as we quietly kill him, the family will only consider him dead in Cangshan. How could we possibly find out about us? Tang Fong said this with a fierce look in his eyes, waving his hand and saying, "Let's go, let's follow up." "Okay, I'll do that kid today." Several fox friends and dog friends were not hesitant and followed Tang Fong's pursuit. In a hurry for half an hour, Tang Manghua went to save more than 10 taels of silver for half a year, bought an iron fork from a blacksmith's shop in Deheshing, and then left the city. Cangshan is located a few miles north of the city, not far from Deh City. Tang Mang soon arrived outside Cangshan. Looking around, Cangshan has lush trees and rugged rocks. The huge mountain range stretches across the sky and earth like a wild beast, with no end in sight. A gentle breeze blew towards him, and Tang Mang took a deep breath, feeling a faint smell in the air, mixed with a hint of blood. Cangshan is vast and boundless, with undulating mountains stretching for hundreds of miles, filled with fierce beasts. These wild beasts are masters who eat people but don't spit out bones. They are extremely powerful and occasionally run out to take people's lives. Rumors have it that deep in the Cangshan mountains, there are even wild beasts that have become refined through cultivation. These wild beasts, seizing the creation of heaven and earth, are turned into monster beasts by humans. They not only have infinite power, but also can spit fire and ice, easily killing top experts in the physical realm. It is terrifying to hear this, only experts in the Kaiyuan realm can deal with them. Black bears are naturally wild beasts, often wandering on the edge of the Cangshan mountains to hunt for food. Tang Mang had an iron fork, practiced the complete lion and tiger fist, and added a small box of healing turpentine ointment. He thought he was more careful and should be able to complete the task of hunting black bears. If he can complete it, he can earn dozens of contribution points to exchange for medicinal cultivation. Walking slowly into Cangshan, Tang Mang's ears perked up, listening carefully from all directions. On the outskirts of Cangshan, there is also a considerable danger. The most terrifying of these dangers, apart from the wild beasts wandering on the periphery, are the venomous snakes hidden on branches or in the grass. If you don't pay attention, you will suddenly launch a surprise attack, take a bite, and without antidote, it's difficult to survive. Due to caution, Tang Mang avoided several areas inhabited by venomous snakes one after another and penetrated more than 10 miles along the way. As long as it doesn't go 20 miles deep into Cangshan, it belongs to the edge zone and is relatively safe. After 20 miles, there will be many crises, and the deeper it goes, the more dangerous it becomes. Tang Mang only wants to search for the black bear on the periphery, but of course he won't go deep. As he walked, Tang Mang occasionally lowered his head and looked up at the grass in front of him and the trees above his head, searching for the black bear. At the same time, Tang Mang was not idle, but whenever he saw herbs, he had to pick them carefully and wrap them up. The edge area is often visited by people, and they have collected almost everything. Even if there were herbs, they didn't have many years and couldn't be considered precious. However, Tang Mang didn't miss them and collected them all. No matter how small the mosquito is, it is still meat. Although these herbs have little value, they are a significant gain in quantity. Besides, the Tang family also has the task of picking various herbs on the edge of Cangshan Mountain. While hunting black bears, Tang Mang completes the task of picking herbs and tries to exchange as much contribution as possible. Why not do it? Chapter 7. Fighting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Fighting. Along the way, the trees are lush, the roots are tied, and the sky is towering. Looking around, each big tree is unusually thick, and the thinnest one may require several people to embrace. Here, it is difficult for light to penetrate, with only a small amount of sunlight passing through the dense forest, leaving spots on the wet and muddy ground. In the depths of the dense forest, occasionally the roar of wild beasts could be heard, causing Tang Mang's body to tremble uncontrollably. At the end of the day, he is only 14 years old, let alone he has just entered Cangshan for the first time. If he is not nervous, it is self-deception. Without entering the tiger's den, there will be no tiger cubs. If I want to become a master and change my fate, how can I be intimidated by the mere beasts? Tang Mang gritted his teeth to boost himself, but instead of delving deeper, he moved horizontally, picking herbs while searching for the trail of wild bears. Wild bears have wide paws and plum blossom-shaped toes, making it easy to find. Not long after, not far away, a row of special footprints caught Tang Mang's eye. Okay, finally we have a clue. Tang Mang breathed a sigh of relief, clenched the iron fork, and walked slowly along the footprints. As we walked along, there was suddenly movement coming from ahead. Is it a wild bear? Tang Mang was startled and then jumped behind a big tree. In a moment, a beast that was about 1 meter long, covered in yellow hair, with thick limbs, sharp claws, sharp teeth, and a sharp mouth, jumped out of the grass ahead. His nose twitched, and the wild beast seemed to smell something. With a low roar, it rushed towards Tang Mang's hiding place. What a sensitive nose this beast has. A foul-smelling wind blew, and Tang Mang's face changed slightly. Without hesitation, he jumped out with agility and launched an attack on the attacking beast first. Use your right arm to exert force and thrust your iron fork towards the beast. The wild beast didn't expect its prey to dare to launch an attack first. Suddenly, it barely lifted its forelimbs and claws to grab the iron fork. Bang! With a crisp sound, sparks splattered, and the beast's claws were incredibly hard. It even carried the iron fork, and a brute force came through. Even if Tang Mang's strength was not small, he was also shaken back a few steps. My right arm tingled and my whole body trembled slightly. Tang Mang's heart was shocked. He didn't expect this wild beast to be so powerful that he launched a surprise attack without any effect, but instead was shaken back. In the midst of lightning and fire, the wild beast roared fiercely, already pouncing fiercely. As Tang Mang's face turned pale, he shifted sideways and dodged the beast's slaughter, piercing his iron fork fiercely into its belly. Puff! The iron fork penetrated 3 inches deep, blood gushed out, and the wild beast roared in pain, waving its claws to attack. Although it was his first time hunting wild beasts, Tang Mang didn't panic much. Pulling out the iron fork, the body leaped and avoided the beast's sharp claws. Then, holding the iron fork with both arms, he exerted all his strength and fiercely struck the beast's forehead. Suddenly, he pulled the beast out and with a loud bang, it collided with a large tree not far away. Death! Taking advantage of the beast's dizziness, Tang Mang let out a loud roar and strode forward, piercing the beast's right eye with an iron fork in his hand, infusing his brain. The wild beast roared twice and fell to the ground unable to rise. Pop 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 pop, the beast had just died, and Tang Mang's flesh and skin made a series of crispy noises like stir-fried beans. Surprisingly broke through to the physical realm. Tang Mang was extremely excited. In fact, he has practiced the complete lion and tiger fist, which can be broken through in just a few days. However, now that he has fought against the beasts and stimulated his own potential, he is able to break through ahead of schedule. As soon as he broke through to the physical realm, Tang Mang felt that his strength had increased by at least 70.80 pounds. Although he held the iron fork in his hand, which weighed nearly 100 pounds, it was as light as nothing in his hand, waving it like an arm and fingers. Great, now that I have broken through, I have more strength and greater confidence in facing the black bear. Tang Mang nodded and was about to collect the materials from the beast in front of him when he heard another sound coming from the nearby dense forest. Quickly, several figures leaped out. Upon seeing the person coming, Tang Mang exclaimed in shock, "Tang Fong, it's you." Tang Fong was also somewhat surprised when he saw Tang Mang. But soon he regained his senses and laughed wildly, "Haha, it's really effortless to get it, little slut. I didn't expect you to be here." After speaking, his gaze fell on the dead beast in front of Tang Mang, his eyes slightly widened, and he snorted, "I didn't expect you to kill the earth leopard. It's really surprising. The strength of this earth leopard is not comparable to that of the black bear, but it is superior in speed. Even if Tang's cultivation at the peak of the physical realm meets, it will take some effort to kill it." However, Tang did not expect Tang Mang to actually kill the earth leopard. "Are you following me?" Staring angrily at Tang Fong, Tang Mang's face turned ugly. He is very intelligent and knows that Tang Fong and others have noble identities. He spends his days immersed in the gentle countryside and would not risk himself for just a small contribution, going deep into the Cangshan mountains. Now, it is inevitable to find oneself. As for what to do with oneself, Tang Mang doesn't need to think about it all. There is no one here, and it is a good place to kill. Hehe, what about tracking you? With several young Tang family members strode towards Tang Mang, Tang Fong's gaze was cold and he grinned, "Little lowly slave, you can't escape today. Tang Fong, killing the Tang family at will is a serious crime. You need to think carefully." Tang Mang shouted and scolded loudly, but the iron fork in his hand tightened. He understands that things may not be able to improve today. The Tang family. Tang Fong seemed to have heard a big joke and waved his long sword, pointing it at Tang Mang and sneering, "What kind of Tang family are you, a little slave? And even if you are a Tang family, what would happen? There's no one here, I'll kill you. Who knows? Hehe, Fong Shao is right. This place happens to be a place for killing and setting fire. Kid, haven't you been very arrogant lately? Today, your deadline has arrived. Several young Tang family members also laughed, with a look of prey like Tang Mang in their eyes. Since you're going to kill me, I'm not polite either. I'm really afraid you won't succeed. With a loud shout, Tang Mang stomped on the ground with his feet, his body leaping out, and his iron fork stabbed towards Tang Feng's chest. In the midst of lightning and fire, he was actually the first to launch an attack. Seeking death. Tang Feng didn't expect Tang Mang to launch an attack first, and as soon as he made a move, he was about to kill himself. He couldn't help but turn pale and shouted, "Let's go together. I will definitely kill this little lowly slave today." As he spoke, his body jumped away, but he chose to avoid his sharpness. He was really scared by Tang Mang's reckless appearance. Don't be fooled by Tang Feng's dual pinnacle of physical cultivation, but he relies on precious medicinal herbs all year round, coupled with his greed for women, resulting in a loss of health. Besides, he doesn't have much combat experience at all. Tang Feng dodged, while several young Tang family members swung their long swords and attacked Tang Mang. Tang Mang didn't expect Tang Feng to hide. Now that he saw several sharp swords attacking, he didn't dare to fight hard. He used his lion and tiger fist, and with a quick tiger pounce, he dodged several people's long swords. Lion and tiger fist is said to be a boxing technique, but in fact, it includes many body techniques. Although Tang Mang did not comprehend the artistic conception of lion and tiger fist, he was able to use these body techniques with ease. His small and slender body was incredibly agile. Go to hell. As soon as he dodged the attacks of several people, Tang Mang's eyes showed a cold light. Without much hesitation, he fiercely stabbed an iron fork into the chest of a young man from the Tang family. No. The mournful scream was chilling, and the young man from the Tang family's eyes widened, spewing blood from his mouth. As Tang Mang pulled out his iron fork, he fell to the ground and couldn't stand up, unable to close his eyes in death. Chapter 8. Crazy Escape. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Crazy Escape. Tang Jun is dead. He actually killed Tang Jun. A young man from the Tang family died tragically in an instant, and the remaining young men from the Tang family turned pale with fear, unable to bear their souls. Tang Feng, who was standing by, seized the opportunity and swung his long sword as he was about to launch a surprise attack on Tang Mang. However, he saw Tang Jun being stabbed in the opposite direction with an iron fork in Tang Mang's hand, causing blood to gush out like a spring. His body immediately softened and his hands and feet were cold. Just quickly, he shouted loudly. Let's go quickly. He killed Tang Jun and committed a heinous crime. As long as we report this to our family, he will die without a burial ground. Yes, we must quickly inform our family about this matter. Several young Tang family members turned their souls, but without hesitation, they quickly fled with Tang Fengfei. Seeing Tang Feng and others escape, Tang Mang's face changed greatly. He has killed Tang Jun now. If the Tang family were to know about this, from now on, the entire Day City would have no place for him to stay. Even if one fears guilt and absconds, they will still be pursued by Tang family experts. Kill them all, otherwise it's me who will die, Tang Mang screamed in his heart as if he had gone crazy and chased after him. Oh, my goodness. With a painful cry, a young man from the Tang family mixed garlic under his feet and was caught up by Tang Mang. Tang Mang, I was wrong. Please spare my life. Turning his head, he saw Tang Mang rushing towards him with great strides. This young man from the Tang family was so frightened that he trembled all over and kept begging for mercy. Spare your life. Tang Mang's heart softened for a moment, but soon he gritted his teeth and decisively swung his iron fork into the vest of such a young Tang family member, piercing through his body. The several Tang family youths who accompanied Tang Fong, including Tang Jun who had previously died, all had dual cultivation in the physical realm. The physical realm is dual. Originally, Tang Mang's strength was at least 400 pounds, but unfortunately, a few of them were addicted to women all day long. Although their cultivation seemed to be high, they were actually strong on the outside but weak on the inside. Tang Mang's strength is not much worse than theirs now. Besides, Tang Mang learned the complete lion and tiger fist with agile body movements. Moreover, these young Tang family members had already been frightened and only wanted to escape, so it was not difficult to kill them. Chasing with all their might all the way, following Tang Fong for dozens of breaths, a total of 5 Tang family youths died under Tang Mang's iron fork. However, Tang Fong fled quickly, and while Tang Mang killed several young Tang family members, he had already distanced himself from Tang Mang by several tens of meters. No, he must not be allowed to return alive. Tang Mang panicked and exerted all his strength, pulling out his feet to chase after him. Ah, Tang Mang, please let me go. I swear I will never tell the family about this matter. Turning his head to see Tang Mang chasing wildly, Tang Fong screamed in fear. Tang Mang had just killed several young Tang family members in a row, and he didn't even blink his eyes. Tang Fong was really scared and no longer had the pride he used to have. Tang Mang wouldn't believe Tang Fong, chasing after him with all his might. Today's situation is destined to not be good. We must kill Tang Fong before he returns to the Tang family, otherwise the consequences will be unimaginable. As they fled and chased, the two of them didn't realize that they had already deviated from the direction, not towards the outskirts of Cangshan, but deep into the depths of Cangshan. Not long after, it was 20 miles deep into Cangshan. Over 20 miles, the roar of beasts in the depths of the dense forest became more and more intense. Tang Fong was still unconscious and ran away in a flurry. Tang Mang quickly realized and his face changed dramatically. Ah! At this moment, a sudden mutation occurred and Tang Fong in front suddenly screamed in agony. Tang Mang fixed his gaze and saw a huge wild beast flying out. With one paw, Tang Fong's head exploded like a rotten watermelon, splashing red and white. This is an armored lion. Tang Mang's pupils suddenly shrank, and he recognized the beast as the iron armored lion at a glance. According to Tang Gang, a few years ago when he was in the 5th level of the physical realm, he entered Cangshan and encountered an armored lion. He almost died in the hands of the armored lion and managed to escape, but was also seriously injured and narrowly escaped death. Tang Mang also occasionally heard Tang Gang mention this matter. Now, at a glance, he saw that this beast was 2 meters long and 1 meter high, with thick and sharp foreclaws. Its body was covered with black armor, some of which looked like scales, exuding a deep and cold luster. Full of fangs, hot air spurting out of his nostrils, facing quite fierce. Behind him, a thick tail about 2 meters long swayed casually, causing sand and rocks to fly on the ground. This is not an armored lion, or something. However, Tang Gang once said that the iron armored lion he encountered was 3 meters long, and its strength was equivalent to that of a master in the 6th level of the body realm. Although this beast had a slightly smaller body size, its strength was estimated to be comparable to that of a master in the 5th level of the body realm. A master of the 5 levels of the physical realm definitely has a huge power of several thousand pounds, and most wild beasts are born with brute force, far stronger than human warriors. Moreover, this beast is covered in scales and armor, with rough skin and thick flesh. It may be difficult to deal with even the experts in the 6 layers of flesh realm. Run, run. Tang Mang didn't want to, turned around and ran away, hoping to have 2 more legs. Facing the earth leopard and black bear, he has the courage to fight, but facing the armored lion, he has no courage at all. Roar. The iron armored lion is bloodthirsty and clearly does not want to let go of Tang Mang, its prey. With a loud roar, it is about to pursue. Just seeing the body of Tang Fong in front of it, it hesitated for a moment, but still gritted and chewed Tang Fong for a while before swallowing it all. This bought Tang Mang a little time, and when he escaped several tens of meters away, the iron-armored lion chased after him with lightning speed. So fast, is the sky about to kill me? The intense sound of breaking the wind came from behind, and Tang Mang's face turned ugly. However, his mind quickly turned, thinking about ways to escape. Quickly, Tang Mang thought of something and resolutely changed direction, fleeing towards the bodies of Tang Jun and several other young Tang family members. In Tang Mang's view, the carnivorous beast iron-armored lion, upon seeing the body of the Tang family boy, would inevitably stop and devour it. Taking advantage of this time, he may be able to escape and ascend to heaven. Roar, roar! The beasts in the dense forest roared incessantly, the earth shook, and the distance between the iron-armored lion and Tang Mang became closer and closer. At the same time, Tang Mang had already passed over the bodies of several Tang family youths. Sure enough, Tang Mang's idea was right. The iron-armored lion saw the bodies of several Tang family youths and hesitated for a moment before choosing to swallow them first and then pursue Tang Mang. Several corpses were torn and bitten by the armored lion, devouring them rapidly. Just after it finished enjoying the food, Tang Mang had disappeared without a trace. Roar, roar! The armored lion roared a few times, then shook its head and turned away. Running all the way, Tang Mang used all his strength and soon saw a small river ahead. He was stunned and jumped into the river, holding his breath and sinking to the bottom. A leopard's nose is sensitive, let alone an armored lion. Tang Mang's heart was like a clear mirror, knowing that even if he escaped hundreds of meters, the iron-armored lion might still be able to find his own breath. So when he saw the small river, he thought of jumping into it to shield his breath. As expected, Tang Mang stayed at the bottom of the river, holding his breath for a long time without hearing any movement from the surface. He knew he had been saved. When Tang Mang couldn't bear to stay at the bottom of the river, he prepared to go out and breathe some air. At this moment, he looked surprised and suddenly discovered a cave on the nearby river wall. What hole is this? Tang Mang was afraid of the iron-armored lion guarding the river, so he forced himself to hold his breath and curiously swam towards the cave. Tang Mang grew up in Dai City from a young age and often went to play in the water with Tang Xiaoyu. The water quality was quite good, and he could hold his breath and spend half a cup of tea in the water droplets. Quickly, Tang Mang entered the cave and carefully delved deeper. At first, there was still river water seeping into the cave, but with a crisp sound, there was no water left in the cave. Although Tang Mang was puzzled, he didn't think much. He stood up straight and carefully examined the cave. The more you look at it, the more strange it becomes. The walls of this cave are smooth, and there are a few white stones embedded above the head, which are obviously not naturally formed, but seem to be artificially excavated. Coach Tang Gang once said that many experts like to open cultivation caves in hidden places, and it's rare that this is the cave opened by a certain expert. If it's a cave, isn't there any treasure inside? During his contemplation, Tang Mang slowly delved deeper. Chapter 9. Stone Chamber. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Stone Chamber. Go deep all the way, without any surprises or risks. During the tea time, a dazzling light suddenly came from ahead. Tang Mang's eyes lit up, but without hesitation, he quickened his pace and walked towards the bright light. Soon, he walked through the bright light and arrived at a valley. The valley is surrounded by mountains on all sides, and the surrounding peaks are unknown in height. The top is shrouded in clouds and mist, making it impossible to see through. If Tang Mang hadn't found the cave at the bottom of the river, it would have been difficult for him to come here. 300 years of Lingji. 300 years of queen bee grass. Walking through the water and crossing a trickling stream, Tang Mang was stunned. He never dreamed that hundreds of years old herbs could be found everywhere in this valley. Although Tang Mang came from a slave background, he also had some knowledge of various herbs in private. Recalling several herb manuals he had read before, he quickly recognized many precious herbs. Looking around, Lingji, Tianfenko, Xuelian, Polygonum multiflorum, ginseng, and various unknown spiritual fruits are swaying and dripping. Whether it's herbs or spiritual fruits, there are too many, at least hundreds. These things, such as snow lotus, are said to only be found in the icy and snowy world. Originally, their origins and growth conditions are completely different, but for some reason they are all concentrated here. I'm not dreaming, am I? There are so many herbs and spiritual fruits. Developed. Tang Mang was both surprised and delighted, dancing and dancing. These medicinal herbs and spiritual fruits, if all of them are taken out and sold, can at least be sold for millions. No, they are definitely worth tens of millions of taels of silver. No, absolutely not for sale. I can definitely use these herbs and spiritual fruits to cultivate, and I will definitely become a master of the physical realm in a short period of time. Tang Mang thought for a moment and decided not to sell. There is no reason for it. With strong strength, he can naturally earn more silver. However, if he sells all the medicinal herbs and spiritual fruits, he will not know how long it will take for him to become a master. Besides, he dare not sell either. After all, each of these medicinal herbs and fruits is priceless. If anyone sees him selling these herbs, it would be strange if he didn't seek wealth or harm his life. Picking a red spiritual fruit casually, Tang Mang smelled it and felt comfortable all over. He understood that the spiritual fruit in his hand should not be poisonous, so he immediately stopped hesitating and took a small bite of the flesh. The fruit flesh melts upon entry, and as soon as it touches the lips, it turns into sweet water. Tang Mang felt a cool and lingering sensation in his mouth, yet he had not fully recovered. The coolness flowed down his throat and reached his lower abdomen, suddenly turning into a warm stream that eventually merged into his entire body's blood. Suddenly, the pores all over my body relaxed, indescribably refreshing. What kind of fruit is this? It's so magical. Tang Mang's eyes widened, and he felt warm blood all over his body, as if he was soaking in a hot spring. Soon, he was even more surprised to find that his strength had increased significantly. He casually swung his fist, and there was a faint sound of breaking the wind. The realm has not broken through, but the strength has increased by dozens of pounds. Tang Mang was extremely excited. He scanned his eyes and found that there were more than 10 identical spiritual fruits in the valley. The specific year was unclear, and the charming appearance was at least several hundred years old. There's so much more, how much more strength would I gain if I ate all of it? Thinking of this, Tang Mang grinned foolishly. Just excited, he didn't rush to pick and swallow the spiritual fruit in his hand. He wolfed it down and then slowly entered the valley. He wanted to see what was deep in the valley. Perhaps this place was indeed a hidden cave of a certain expert, with many treasures left inside. Soon, he arrived deep in the valley and saw a huge green pond ahead. Looking up, a huge waterfall cascaded down from the cloud-shrouded area above like a training horse. A series of water splashed like scattered pearls and jade, shining brightly under the reflection of sunlight. How beautiful! Tang Mang praised sincerely, and leisurely, he smelled the stench emanating from his body. It's really too smelly. Looking down, I saw myself covered in black. As I ate the spiritual fruit, my blood became hotter and hotter. Many black and filthy things actually seeped out through my pores on the surface of my body. This. According to Coach Tang Gang, those major sects have what kind of marrow washing pills? Swallowing this pill can wash the meridians and marrow, greatly improving physical fitness. Is the efficacy of this spiritual fruit the same as that of marrow washing pills? Tang Mang was pleasantly surprised. He jumped in place a few times, jumped 2 meters high, and waved his fists. He felt that his body had become more agile, and his strength had increased by at least 400 to 500 pounds. Originally, Tang Mang broke through to the level of the flesh realm, and his strength increased by several tens of pounds. In addition, his own strength was not small. Now that he has eaten the spiritual fruit, his physical fitness has improved. With a full punch, his strength has reached at least 700 to 800 pounds. In general, a warrior with one level of physical realm only has a strength of about 400 pounds, while Tang Mang has 700 to 800 pounds. If this punch goes down, the black bear may also die miserably in an instant. Haha, good. That's really great. With my current strength, I can barely fight against people in the triple physical realm. Tang Mang laughed heartily until his blood stopped heating up. It was only then that he realized and happily rushed to the green pond ahead to clean it up. During the cleaning, Tang Mang discovered a cave behind the waterfall in front of him. He was stunned and then swam over, his body agile like an ape. He climbed up several protruding rocks and entered the cave. The cave was not very deep, initially slightly narrow, but as he walked deeper, it became more spacious. Soon, Tang Mang arrived at a huge space. The space is 5 zhang high, 5 zhang long and 5 zhang wide, and it is actually a stone chamber. Several dragon eye-sized beads with white light are embedded on the surrounding walls, making the entire stone chamber as bright as day. The indoor decoration is simple, with one stone bed, one stone table, and several stone chairs. It seems that someone has lived here before, and it is indeed a master's cave. Tang Mang muttered to himself. He just can't figure it out, where is the owner of the stone chamber? Think of those herbs and fruits outside that have been around for hundreds of years. Did the master of the stone chamber leave long ago? Or died of old age? Ah, I'm really dead. Suddenly, Tang Mang's pupils widened and his gaze froze in the corner of the stone chamber, where there was a jet-black humanoid ash that looked like it had been burned into flying ash by the raging fire. Taking a deep breath, Tang Mang cautiously took his steps and slowly approached the humanoid ashes, squatting down and observing carefully. Suddenly, he noticed a glint of light in the humanoid ashes, as if there was something. Tang Mang was stunned and arched his hand towards the humanoid ashes, saying, "Senior, I have offended you." Speaking, he reached out to search for the human-shaped ashes. For a moment, he picked up a gray ring and curiously examined it closely. What kind of ring is this? Tang Mang was a bit confused. Suddenly, he thought of something and exclaimed excitedly, "I heard that the head of the family, Tang Wuxiang, has a storage ring. The ring looks very small, but it has a unique cave inside that can store a large amount of items. Is the ring in my hand the legendary storage ring?" Thinking of this, Tang Mang began to worry again. He knows how to store the ring, but he doesn't know how to use it. He can't help but scratch his ears and cheeks, anxiously spinning around. Damn it, how exactly can this thing be opened? Tang Mang tossed and turned for a while, sweating profusely, but had no clue at all. He couldn't help but bite his index finger and drip blood onto the ring. He thought of what Tang Gang had said before, that some treasures require blood to recognize their owner before they can be opened. Chapter 10. Harvest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Harvest. A few drops of blood fell on the ring, causing a mutation to occur. The originally gray ring suddenly emitted a dazzling light. Tang Mang just glanced and his head suddenly hurt. After a whirlwind, he felt like he had become ethereal, as light as nothing, and his soul seemed to have entered a mysterious space. This space is very large, square and thousands of square meters. In the space, various white lights shone and palm-sized stones piled up into mountains. In addition, there is a long sword with a scabbard, several antique jade books, and in a corner, a bead the size of a human head, completely pitch black, with peculiar patterns hidden on the surface. Tang Mang glanced at Juzi a few times, only feeling a piercing pain in his head and his soul as if it was about to be ingested. He was immediately frightened and his soul burst out. He dared not look at Juzi anymore, but instead looked at those ancient and simple jade books. "Come here." My heart moved with my thoughts, and a few jade books drifted eerily towards Tang Mang. Then there was another whirlwind, and when Tang Mang regained his senses, he found himself back in the stone chamber, holding several jade books in his hand. Scratching his head, Tang Mang suddenly regained his senses and murmured, "A person has a physical body and a soul. It seems that opening the storage ring requires the use of a soul." Then, he experimented a few more times. Sure enough, once he concentrates his thoughts and sinks them into the ring, his soul can enter the inner space of the ring. After a long time, Tang Mang became fully proficient in the use of storage rings. He didn't care about the long sword with a scabbard, the strange stones piled up in the mountains, or even the eerie huge black bead. Instead, he sat cross-legged, opened a jade book in his hand, and began to watch. This jade book is not thick, only a dozen pages, but each page records a lot of things. Tang Mang opened his eyes wide and slowly examined, discovering that the jade book was not a legendary martial arts skill, but an autobiography of the owner of the stone chamber. It records the various experiences of the master of the stone chamber who has been practicing for over 1,000 years, as well as many cultivation experiences. In the last few pages of the jade book, it also records many strange stories about the Dragon Abyss continent. Good thing. Tang Mang was extremely excited and gradually became fascinated by it. As time passed, his knowledge greatly increased and he learned that the master of the stone chamber was a top-notch expert who surpassed the Kaiyuan realm. TSK, I thought Kaiyuan realm was a master, but I didn't expect there to be so many realms above Kaiyuan realm. Looking at the jade book slowly, Tang Mang's vision expanded a lot. He knew that in addition to the Kaiyuan realm, there were also realms of true gang, all phenomena, heaven and man, soul refining, and star transformation in the physical realm. Master of the stone chamber, he is a master of the star transformation realm. Once such a state is reached, one can even leave their soul and escape into the vast and boundless starry sky, refine the stars in the sky, and merge their energy to strengthen themselves. The owner of the stone chamber is also bold, and surprisingly wants to refine a solar star. Unexpectedly, at the last moment, a large amount of true sun fire invaded the body by mistake. Despite his ruthless means, he couldn't control himself in the end. From the inside out, he was completely burned by the true fire of the sun and turned into ashes. Refining the sun star. Integrating into the sun's true fire. This is unimaginable. Tang Mang was stunned. On the continent of Longyuan, as long as it's not a rainy day, you can see the scorching sun above your head. Above, the sun is the sun star, a huge fireball burning with terrifying flames, with a diameter of countless billions of miles. It has existed for many years, and no one knows. The master of the stone chamber is indeed powerful, but he dare not refine the one above his head. In the vast starry sky, there are many stars of all sizes, and there is not only one sun star, but also many, some of which are small in size and easy to refine. What the owner of the stone chamber is preparing to refine is a smaller solar star. However, after all, the sun star is a sun star. Not to mention its innermost true core, the true fire contained within the sun star is not something that the owner of the stone chamber can absorb. Taking a deep breath, Tang Mang quickly regained his senses, his face full of excitement, and he secretly swore that he would also become a master of the star transformation realm in the future. He would fly to heaven and earth, roam the starry sky, and be invincible. What a majestic and carefree person that was. As he watched, he had wild thoughts. After Tang Mang finished reading the jade book, he also knew that all the strange stones in the inner space of the ring were yuan stones, including millions of lower-grade yuan stones, hundreds of thousands of middle-grade yuan stones, tens of thousands of upper-grade yuan stones, and even a dozen top-grade yuan stones. Yuan shi. The common currency in the world of warriors, ordinary warriors in the Kaiyuan realm often only have lower-grade yuan stones, and not too many. However, nowadays, not to mention mid-grade, top-grade, and even top-grade yuanshi, Tang Mongguang has millions of lower-grade yuanshi, which is completely a huge sum of money. Putting aside the yuan stone, the long sword with a scabbard is even more of an exquisite treasure. It is a divine weapon crafted by the master of the stone chamber using a cold iron star core. It cuts iron like mud, is unparalleled in sharpness, and appears to be like an ordinary long sword, but weighs millions of pounds. What is the concept of 1 million pounds? That's completely a big mountain. Warriors in the Kaiyuan realm, even in the true gang realm, cannot use it at all. In Tang Mang's opinion, if he wants to use it, he must either have a physical strength exceeding 1 million pounds or reach the star transformation realm. And once it can be used, even if no swordsmanship or martial arts are used, a single sword can shatter countless experts to pieces. As for the last eerie black pearl with a large head, the owner of the stone chamber obtained it in a mysterious ancient cave. After more than 100 years of research, he only knew that this pearl could devour the soul and soul of life. The specific origin is unclear, and in the end, it can only be left unresolved. The master of the stone chamber was so powerful that he couldn't figure out the origin of the black pearl, so Tang Mang naturally wouldn't study it. With a smile, Tang Mang put down the jade book in his hand and picked up the other 3 jade books in front of him. The first jade book, titled Heavenly Star Soul Refining Technique, is a high-level secret skill at the heavenly level. Secret techniques also belong to martial arts, but they are kept secret and their power is far more powerful and eerie than martial arts, making it difficult for ordinary martial artists to obtain. Once obtained, it is often secretly hidden, afraid of leakage and causing a fatal disaster. In the Dragon Abyss continent, there are martial arts and secret skills, with grades ranging from low to high. They can be classified into yellow level, mysterious level, human level, earth level, heavenly level, legendary heavenly level, and even divine level. However, those things are elusive and have never been seen before. Similar to martial arts and secret techniques, the cultivation methods can be classified from low to high, including yellow level, mysterious level, human level, earth level, heavenly level, and divine level. It is necessary to reach the Kaiyuan realm and have the vitality in the body to cultivate. With the cultivation method, one can increase their vitality and cultivate various martial arts secrets. Like the lion and tiger fist, it is not a martial art, but rather an external skill, power, martial arts, and even secret skills that the martial artists in the physical realm use to train their bodies. It is incomparable and lacks any comparability. The Heavenly Star Soul Refining Technique is a top-notch secret technique for cultivating souls. Such techniques are very rare, and ordinary experts don't need to think about them. Even experts in the soul refining realm find it difficult to have them in their hands. I originally wanted to practice the Heavenly Star Soul Refining Technique, but I had to reach the soul refining realm in order to do so. At that time, the soul was strong enough to directly absorb the energy of the stars and strengthen it. The owner of the stone chamber obtained this secret and spent several years studying it carefully. However, he took a unique path and found a unique type of grass. This grass, called Tianren grass, is naturally capable of absorbing the energy of the stars in the sky to grow. It contains a small amount of star energy, and with the help of the star energy in Tianren grass, one can cultivate their soul in any realm.